never mind how crazy I look. It is like 2:23 in the morning. But yes, so I've been working on orders for my actual business all day, so I have to squeeze in time for myself at night. Okay, my mom would kill me if she knew I was up this late. But this is how the hair is. I have the closure at the top because I'm going to dye that last. But this is my premium raw Indian hair in two 30-inch bundles and two 28-inch bundles. And guys, it is so thick. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So what you're about to see me do is I'm going to dye this hair red. Well, I'm going to dye this hair like the magenta deep red color, and then we're going to put a couple bright red highlights in it. But first things first, we're going to go ahead on and dye this red. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to mix 2 boxes of magenta and 1 box of red. So I really hope this is enough dye, because I was going to do 2 boxes of magenta and 2 boxes of red, but since I decided I want to do the highlights, I'm going to need a box for that. So I'm going to see just how much of this hair I can dye with those 3 boxes, and hopefully I could dye it all, because this is a lot of hair. But it's okay, let's get started. Okay guys, so here's all the supplies you're going to need. Here you can see my 2 boxes of red and 2 boxes of magenta dye, some black latex gloves, a big bottle of 30 volume developer. We have some 40 volume developer. This black tub's what I'm going to be mixing it up in, and I also have another smaller coloring bowl with a brush. I have 2 clips to hold the hair, a rat tail comb, and I believe that's about it. So first things first, I'm going to start by opening all these boxes of dye, and I'm just going to apply 2 magentas and 1 red tube. Instead of squeezing the dye through that little, nozzle in the top, I like to just cut the bottom off. It makes it a whole lot easier to get as much dye out of this little tube as possible. So once again, I'm going to put in 2 full bottles of magenta and 1 full bottle of red. So now that we've squeezed all of the dye in the bowl, I'm just going to take my 30 volume developer and I'm going to mix it in. Now there's no specific amount I'm going to mix in, but I'm just going to mix it in until it gets to a consistency that isn't too watery but isn't too thick, somewhere in the middle. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is our final consistency. As you can see, it's perfect. So now I'm just going to go ahead on and section the hair because I don't want to leave all this hair down. Like I said, it is a lot of hair, so we want to make sure that the dye gets through to every little piece. So I want to make sure to do this in sections. Before applying any dye, make sure to comb out the section first. Having no tangles just also ensures that the dye is going to get all the way through the hair and we won't leave any patches that don't have any color. Okay guys, so now I'm about to start the process of actually applying the dye to the hair, and here I'm going to tell you step by step how to get your hair fully saturated to make sure you don't leave any, black spots or spots without color, and how to use your products wisely so that you don't have to use like 10 boxes to finish. Okay guys, so as you can see, I grab a section and I like to start a couple inches down from the top of the track, and then I slowly just start working that dye in. So I put the dye on and then I stop applying product a couple inches above the end, because then I'll just take my hands and I'll use all of the dye that we've already used to saturate the hair and just pull it down. And oftentimes this is enough product to saturate the ends as well. So after I make sure the color is fully massaged through the section of hair, I take a little bit of product and I carry it up, because once again, I started a couple inches below the track. So I'm just going to go ahead on and massage that in, making sure to catch the top and the sides. And as you can see, I've turned my brush sideways. That way I don't leave any thick, harsh lines on the hair. It just looks more like brush strokes, and everything's going to blend in perfectly. So now I'm just going to repeat that process on the rest of the hair until everything is fully saturated.
So as I finish my last piece on this section, I'm just going to go wash my hands and dry my gloves so that I can separate the next section. Now this is not something that you have to do, but I like to do it just to make sure I don't make a mistake and get any dye anywhere I don't want it. I like to use clean gloves when I'm working with the part of the hair that I have not yet touched with dye. So I'm just going to go ahead on and twist up the rest of the hair and use my alligator clips to clip it away. And now, just like we did before, the section that I pulled out, I'm going to comb it with a wide tooth comb and knock all those tangles out and begin the process of applying the dye all over again.
Okay, so I just want to cut in because the part that I think that's super important that a lot of people forget is after you finish with all of this bottom part, I like to get a little bit of dye and go over right underneath here. So you see where they don't have any dye. Now, if you want it like that, that's cool. But if you want, you know, the color to go up a little more, and just make sure you go back in and just catch right underneath. just so when you, I've seen a lot of people when their color looks fine, but then when they like flip their hair or something, you can just see where the color cut off on the inside because they didn't check. So just if you don't want your hair to look like that, then I suggest just going back in and just catching these little small inside parts. It's these small things that will make, you know, your color job go from good to great. So yeah, just going back in and catching like underneath, like look like right there. So after I finish putting the dye everywhere, I just like to massage it through all of the hair. So if you did happen to miss a spot, you know, any section above it with color on it, we'll go ahead on and apply some product for you, just to make sure everything is evenly distributed. Now, like I said, I only use 3 boxes, and this is how much I have left over to go ahead and do my closure. Yes. So a lot of times, people be like, I use 6 boxes or I use this much, and you really don't need that many boxes. But what I have noticed from watching other people's YouTube videos is that they don't put enough developer. So you'll put a certain amount of developer for 1 box, and then once you put both tubes in there, they'll put about the same amount of developer, maybe a little bit more. Go ahead on and be generous with the developer. You don't want it like water, but at the same time, if you're using like 3-4 boxes, you have a little leeway to make it, you know, more product. There's no way you should be using, you know, if you normally use on like short hair, like 1 box or something, or 2 boxes, which I only use 1. There's no way you should be using 3 or 4 boxes and getting just a little bit, you know, more product. Like, it's a lot more color in there than you think, guys. But yes, I think this is gonna come out really good. Now see, I'm just going through, like you see, like this spot right here. I take my brush and just add a little color. Now, like I said, sometimes I don't do this because I like the halo effect of like the darker root, you know, leading to the color. But like I said, if you don't want that, just make sure to go back and catch little sections like this. It's really easy to miss little sections like this when you dye the hair when it's already sewn into a wig, instead of like doing it beforehand. So yeah, like I said, better safe than sorry. So I'm not even picking up any new product at this point. I'm using the product that's already on my brush and just kind of just redistributing what's already there. Because like I said, all of the product I have left, I want to use for the closure. But like if you have a whole lot of product left, go ahead on and, you know, just dip and put some fresh product on there. But if not, this residue, I promise you, after it sits on there for hours, is going to color the hair. Now, the reason why I'm okay with just using residue is that what's going to happen is that it's just not going to be as bright as the rest of the hair. And that's okay because it's the roots. So it's going to create like a shadow effect without even trying.
So now I'm just going to finish applying the product to the rest of this and to the closure, and I'm going to let this sit on the hair overnight. Okay guys, so this is how my hair looks once I have fully saturated. As you can see, I've went ahead on and I have colored the closure as well. If you'd like to see in more detail how to color a closure or frontal or just any lace product you have without the color bleeding through and just get the perfectly colored frontal, then make sure to check out my next video and I'll definitely go into more detail. So after I colored the closure, I went ahead on and bleached my knots, as you can see. And also, if you want to see how I bleach these knots, that'll be included into the perfect frontal video where I'll show how I colored it and how I bleached the knots and why I have it sitting out like this. So here is the final product after I have bleached the knots. As you can see, none of our color red bled through to our beautiful lace. And we have these perfectly evenly bleached knots. And it's going to look like a scalp, honey. Oh, you guys, twigs coming out so perfect. Okay guys, so here's the hair blow dried after everything. Now one thing I didn't show that I did was that last box of red dye that we had. I went ahead on and mixed an entire bottle of magenta and half a bottle of red, and then I just went over all of the ends of the hair using 40 volume developer. And what this allowed to happen is it allowed the top of the hair to stay, you know, that darker red, while as you can see the bottom gradually gets brighter. So same color, just more pigmented at the bottom. Altogether we ended up using 4.5 boxes of dye. So here are some videos of my final look. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this video. Remember to give me a big thumbs up, and remember to tell your friends to watch my videos so we could be friends. And yes, y'all see me, I was really feeling this red hair for my birthday, and I hope you guys get great results just like I did. See you guys next time. Bye.